My name is Amina Abo Doma. I am an Egyptian based in London. I'm a creative entrepreneur / producer, and I work across the fields of film and music. That goes back to 2012 when I came to the UK as a student. I studied at Goldsmith College. Actually, I loved being in London and all the opportunities the city has to offer to any creative person. I got a recommendation for one of my friends who was already working with Good Advice. So I got introduced to Atif, and he was like extremely helpful for me to help me stay in the UK, extend my presence, because I was a student and I was on a scholarship, and what I wanted to do is that I wanted to be between Egypt and the UK. I applied for the graduate entrepreneurs visa. I got it. I remained in contact with Atif. I think a couple of years ago, Good Advice and Atif has helped me to apply for the formerly called Exceptional Talent Visa. At that time, it was called like the Global Talent. The process was very easy. Like working with Good Advice was like, it's almost you feel like everything is going to fall into place. So no fears, no worries. It's quite smooth and very professional. I applied with Good Advice, and I luckily got the Global Talent, and I spent years here in the UK, I think 3 years or something, and then I also applied for the ILR with the great help of Good Advice. And in this I have to mention Atif, of course, but I need to mention May as well. For me, they're not it's a contractual relationship. There is a contractual agreement between me and them, but for me it feels more than that. I feel like Atif and May are my friends. I like them so much. They're really helpful, pro, and everything that can be said in that respect. So luckily, I also got the ILR. They had me open, I established a company here in the UK, and the process was very easy, like establishing the company with the help of Isra. I need also to mention her. They're all very, very, very helpful, very professional. So I would definitely recommend anybody who wants like an easy life in terms of like applying for visas, or like anybody with an immigration requirement. That's the go-to place. Good Advice is the go-to place. Multiple challenges. Not only one challenges. At the beginning, when I started, there was always this problem of actually it still exists, of precarity. Because sometimes you're pursuing a project that works really well and it's very successful and everything is perfect, and then this project finishes. You have to look for another project. Try it as if you're starting. It's a creative process and it's very exciting, but maybe a project succeeds, maybe a project fails, you know. So it's always, you are in the lookout for more projects and more opportunities. When you start, of course, you're not like when I start back in like maybe 12 or 15 years ago. When you're a beginner, it's different from when you've like kind of progressed a bit in life. So some days you feel like, am I doing the right thing? Is this the right career for me? Should I have worked in like corporate or something with more stability, pay at the end of each month? But now you get used to it, and you actually get addicted to the fact that you're always looking for the next adventure. It has influenced my work positively because For example, in the field of music or the film, there are lots of opportunities of networking. I went to Goldsmith College, so the university helped me a lot to tap into especially the music industry. So I got to know more people through university, and the more you live here, you realize that you need to engage in events that relates to your industry. So like a contact brings another contact. So networking is really good here, and the fact that the city is quite diverse, it opens up opportunities in different paths. So it's not just you work, for example, with British people. You might end up doing a project in India, for example. This is how I see it. That's my experience. Maybe for others it's not the same, but for me it is the case. It's always the visas. It's always very hard to make sure that everybody on the troupe or the group you're organizing the event for is getting the visa in time, or getting the visa. So I think as far as challenges, because I work with quite reputable bands for the music from the Middle East, and finding the right audience isn't the problem, because when you have experience, you know where to go, where to put the show. It's just always the visa. It's always you never know what's gonna happen. To be honest, not every project that I have worked on is unique. Some projects are nice, and because if your question is specific to the UK or the City of London where I live, the competition is really high. So if you think you've got the most clever project, there is a similarity between you and someone else. Somebody has thought about this before you or after you. So I think the most important thing to do, of course, uniqueness is a thing to pursue, but you make sure that you're doing an impactful and successful project, even if it's similar to others. You need to consider how is this impactful. So I've done lots of unique projects, lots of normal projects, and I have failed in some projects as well. Actually, they take all the burden from me, the majority of the burden. Of course, when you're working on an application, or you always need to assemble your supporting documents and stuff, but I'm sure when it's in the hands of good advice, it's going to be successful. So you're hassle-free and worry-free. I have this kind of belief and trust in good advice and in the persons who work in good advice, that everything's going to be okay. It's going to succeed. So I worry about when an application is in process, or when an application is in process, I do my thing, they do theirs, and I have this trust. And if I think about something creative, like opening a business that relates to art, regardless of the industry, I know the go-to person is good advice. If I want to establish a branch here, or I tell them that I have this company in the US and I want to open this a branch of it here, it's going to be easy. They're always going to find a solution for me. Well, I'm currently working on a TV series that the work has finished, but we've been doing it for the past 3 years. Very, very excited about its release in November. So this is one of the most creative projects that I'm anticipating for in the next month or so, 2 months.